Hi everyone, welcome to Cheltenham Chart Update 16, and quite a lot to go through today because the reality has hit me at last that this isn't just for golf caddies. I have been thinking that for a while, but it's when I went on the show, the Finishing Line guys and Let's Talk Racing guys, that I finally got it. And so yes, I realise I have to put content up here now that people are wanting to see, that people obviously, are spending their time watching rather than watching TV. So it is a big deal. And for me to take up 20 minutes of your time, I have to put out something decent. Of course, it'll always be honest in my view, but now I have to think about what sort of content I'm going to put in here. Today I'm going to talk about that the reality has hit me. I'm going to talk about the videos we made, what content I could put up. I'm going to talk about the British Challenge quite a lot in the video, and we'll obviously have to talk about the betting bank and where we go with that. And obviously for my money now, the fourth bet out of 5 has gone down in Dicky Diver, which is an absolute disaster. But yeah, we'll get onto that right at the end. So we made the videos for the Presbytery Cup. They're on the Turning for Home video channel. It's Gary's channel, but it's called Turning for Home, and all 4 days were discussed. I was due to be on the British team at first, but with my small Celtic connections, it was thought better if I went onto the Irish team, and it would also allow Tom to be on the English team, because Tom is English even though he stays in Ireland. And obviously it meant that there was one person from each of the videos in each team. So Andrew and Tom from the Finishing Line were against each other, myself and Gary were against each other, and Josh and Andrew were against each other. So it made for quite entertaining viewing, although I perhaps went a wee bit too far sometimes later in the video. But hopefully you'll watch those. It was quite entertaining, and quite a decent case was put up for quite a few English horses. So like I say, I have to work out what sort of content people want and what sort of videos they want. I am going through these Cheltenham races at the moment, and I'm wondering, do people want me to make videos about the Mayor's Novice, the Ryanair, the Albert Bartlett, where they are more open? I can talk about each horse individually and just make a short video about that. Would that be useful to people? I'm going to talk about the Mayor's Novice a little bit later in the video as well. So, on to the British Challenge then. Before we start on that, if anyone should, like Gavin Lynch, is watching my videos, or David Jennings, or anyone that's just in racing in general and would like to pop on to Scott's preview night with me next Monday night, Monday the 8th, it's myself, Scott, Callum, Andrew and Gary. But we'd love a big name if anyone wants to come on. So just a wee plug for that. But anyway, yeah, the British Challenge. Now, I was on the Irish team on the night, so I was actually batting the case for the Irish horses. But I have to say, when I was looking through it, thinking I was going to be in the UK team, I did notice a few horses that I just thought, well, that's been dismissed. This has been dismissed. And let's look at what's happened in the past week. Champ, who I forgot to talk about last week in the video, shockingly, he came out and he ran a fabulous trial for the Gold Cup over 2 miles. His jumping was very, very good in the main. Now, can he transfer that to 3 miles? Will he run free, etc.? Yeah, that's for another day, but let's just look at that. He's come into the picture. He's now the second favourite. Last weekend at Wincanton, we did talk about Goshen. Now, whether you like Goshen or you don't like Goshen, he's put his hand in the air for the champion hurdle for absolutely sure. He's no back number. He could have a big say in the champion hurdle. He probably will have a big say in the champion hurdle. And along with Epitant, they are a serious challenge. There is no question that these horses have got a chance. And then yesterday, you've got Tritonic, who's absolutely thrown his hat into the ring for the Triumph. So, 3 English horses there that just in the last week on better ground thrown serious doubt into a couple of the races. I did have an inquiry from Angus about putting a accumulator off, and he was wondering should he ask Zana here as the last leg of a four-timer. Now I replied to him that if he wanted to put Monkfish, Concertista and Envoy Allen in as the first three legs, I would just say to put the bet off as a treble and then wait until the Thursday night because they've all run before Zana here and then decide what he wants to do from there. But Zana here could seriously be 5-2, maybe even 11-4 on the day, and you already know the outcome of the rest of the bet before you decide, and you have all the money, so you can either decide to put it all on Zana here or wait. But Tritonic has been well backed. I thought his jumping was sticky, Tritonic, but he was very impressive. Nonetheless, I know it wasn't a great race, but he's run away from decent horses, not brilliant horses, but decent horses. His time was decent compared with Cape Gentleman, so he's no back number. He has got a chance, and it wasn't looking like that on Friday afternoon. I think it's very easy to dismiss the British Challenge, but I've given you three horses there that have come into the picture. I'll just give you one example of what I've been doing in my prep. People would dismiss Metier as just a Tolworth winner who needs soft to heavy ground, and really he isn't a proper second favourite. Harry Fry's been out of form, etc, etc. But I sat down and looked at Metier's runs. Now the form of the race, or the races, could be savaged because there's no horses in there actually won a race behind him. So what I did was I looked at the times. Now the Tolworth time, a lot of people will say that's not worth the paper it's written on because Sandown can get very bad. But it did compare very favourably with the handicap hurdle. He was well ahead of the time for the handicap hurdle, and he was very, very impressive on the clock. But the race I focused on was the one at Ascot. Now I think the ground wasn't even soft that day. I think it was just good to soft. And although everyone says he needs soft to heavy, I don't think that's true. And his time at Ascot was extremely impressive against the time for the handicap hurdle that Buzz won. Now Buzz is a 156 horse, and his time compared very favourably to it. So although he's not beating much, he can run fast. And if you can run fast, you can run fast whatever the opposition is. So it might be that you run against trees and you run fast, but if you run against two good horses, you can still run fast. So you're going to give them a run for their money. Looking at Appreciate It, his form's all on soft and heavy ground. Will he like the ground coming up a little bit tighter than he's been used to? I'm not convinced that he will. I'm not convinced that he won't either, but I just feel it'll bring the playing field leveler. Will Ballyadam like that a bit more? Will Kisk on Risk like that a bit more? Will Blue Lord like that a bit more? It doesn't take much, but Appreciate It is 7-4, and according to many experts, he's an absolute certainty because he's got good form in the bumper. Now, there's no getting away from his form, but it is factored into the price. There has to be value somewhere else, and that's what I'm looking for. I think that Metier has been underestimated a little bit. Soaring Glory was obviously... I have done the paperwork on him as well to show that he is not the absolute no-hoper that it looks, because his handicap mark was protected. That's a horse that's beaten Bravemon's Game 3 times. His second to Dusart, who would be right up in the betting for this, he gave £6 to Dusart, and he was protecting a handicap mark at the time for the Betfair hurdle. So when you look at the form, it looks like Appreciate It is a good thing. But when you delve deeper into the British horses, Soaring Glory was protecting a handicap mark, and Metier can only beat what's put in front of him. And although that hasn't been the highest the standard of horses, he's still beating them very easily, and he's doing it in good times. And I think he seriously has a chance. So I had a look at three races: the Albert Bartlett, the Mare's Novice, and the Ryanair. I'll just give you an example. I don't want to go into what I found in the races because that's for Scott's preview night at the moment. But I had a short list of 3. Now people will say, why did you knock out Hookup and why did you knock out Royal Kahala? Well, I had various reasons, price, etc., etc. And I came down to a short list of 3, which were Rosie's Hollow, who has a progressive profile, has had an uninterrupted prep, a perfect prep really, a 4th, not really given a hard time, then a maiden win, and then a grade 3 win. Now yes, she's going to have a £5 penalty, which will be hard to overcome, but this is a horse going on a steady uphill curve at the moment, and there could be a lot more to come. It's the 2nd season Novice as well. That's always very good, and I think Rosie's Hall is a really, really good prospect. My worry with her on the shortlist is she may not run because it's a small operation and it's a big deal for them to take one of their horses across to the UK, taking stable staff away from the stable. And if she goes, I think she's got a great chance. I'm sure JP will pay for her to go should they think she's good enough to win. But the worry is there that she could just go for a pot in Ireland. The second horse on the shortlist for me was Glens of Antrim, whose form's all against geldings. But she's tempered by the fact I don't know if Rosie's Hollow's going or not. So until I would know which one was going, I would be very wary of going in on the other, because I think Rosie's Hollow's the better mare. But if she doesn't go, then they must think a lot of Glens of Antrim to not send Rosie's Hollow. And that would mean that would be JP's only representative. That would mean their price would contract, and then Glens of Antrim would look a really decent bet at 20-1. The English horse has been absolutely dismissed, and I know it's because of the defeat in the handicap, but looking at it, Glancing Queen has finished decently placed in 2 champion bumpers against geldings. She's won a mare's bumper at Entry, and she's unbeaten against mares. And the reason she's the price she is because she was beaten at Exeter in a handicap, which a lot of people would have think she should have won. Now I don't know if that was a prep race for this or if they really fancied her, but if you look on the form book, she has a serious chance. And I think she's been very overlooked considering the level of form she's got, and she's also a 2nd season novice. So I think she's been overlooked. I'm not convinced she should be overlooked, and I think she's definitely the best English challengers, but I think she's got a very decent chance. So that's just some of the work I've been doing for Scott's preview night, but I think I've done that for a few races. I may go through a couple more. You know, if people want that sort of content, I can maybe go through the field for the Albert Bartlett, the Ryanair, more open races, or try and pick holes in a favourite and go through picking out which one I would take against a favourite. Although I'm not sure I'd be wanting to do that against Monkfish or Envoy and I think the others, there is a possibility you can find something to go and pick up, or take out one that could run well each way, or you can make a case for this can win, but it's also a great bet each way. Just finally, to look at the bank and the bets. I don't know how I'm going to play it from now on. Kilcrat obviously speaks for himself. He's got a great chance, and we all know that. But looking at the other 4 bets, they're in dreadful shape. Delvino is declared. Now, I think she's a plot for something. I don't know what. If she's a plot for the Mayor's Novice, they've done a great job. They've got 50-1, and I think they need to stop now and just start backing her. But I don't think that's the plan. It's a small yard. I'm not so sure she'll come across, but if she does, she will be interesting because it's a serious amount of paperwork, a serious amount of money to get her across here. And she hasn't looked good going right-handed, but going left-handed, maybe she would do something, but I don't see her turning up. So I've given that one that bet, and her form has been rank rotten since she won. Dickie Diver, it doesn't look like Nicky Henderson has enough time now to get a 3-mile chase run in and then run in the National Hunt Chase. We're talking about 16 days. He's got to get 2 runs in. I don't think that's even feasible, and I think Nicky's kidding himself on, and I wish he would just say he's not going to run, because he's just giving people false hope with this nonsense. Then we had Dame de Company, who, yeah, hopefully not many people backed, but yeah, still a loss. It's I think she has the better chance in the Mayor's Chase. She's been trained for the Mayor's or Chases. It's a big ask to go back over hurdles. Although she'd have a chance against Concertista, it's a big ask to go back over hurdles after training all season and running all season over fences. You know, she's probably a 150 mare. She's run against Concertista, I'm sure she's got a rating of 153, but I think she's got more gears than that. And Roxana's improved to 153, so Dame de Company's up against it in the Mayor's Hurdle. She would have more chance of beating Ellie May, but Ellie May is owned by the same owner, and so he's trying to win both races. I think he'd be better off putting Dame de Company in and making sure he wins the Mayor's Chase, to be honest. And finally, obviously, Gentleman's Game's not even been declared. So, yeah, after having a record of 19 runners out of 21 bets at Cheltenham over the past 3 years, I've hit a really, really bad run of luck. It's unbelievable to get 19 out of 21 there for 3 years and then have 4 out of 5 that won't make it this year. And yeah, all the eggs are in the one basket will kill Crat. But we have 220 left of the bank. How to play that 220, I'm still sort of making a decision whether I go for 2 outsiders at 20 quid and then 3 £60 bets, or if I just go 80, 70, 70. I don't really know how I'm going to play it yet, and I'm just sort of weighing that up at the moment. But not in the best of shape, let's just put it like that. So what do you guys want from me? If there's any big name out there, Jennings, Lynch, etc., get in touch. Love you to be on our show on the 8th of March. And yeah, just be careful. Don't dismiss the British horses out of hand. I think they got more of a chance than you think. So thanks for watching. Maybe back midweek. Just finally to say, before I go, I thought Barrow Saint ran a great Grand National trial yesterday. And along with Kimberlite Candy, they'd be my 2 for the National at the moment. Although I'm not putting a bet up yet. I thought Barrow Saint ran great. So thanks for watching. I'll be back to you maybe midweek, maybe next week on Sunday. Thanks for watching and bye for now.